Recently, a Netflix series titled Making a Murderer was released to widespread acclaim and popularity. The documentary seemingly reveals the injustices carried out against a man named Stephen Avery, who was wrongfully accused of murdering a woman named Teresa Hallback by a corrupt police department. He was sentenced to life in prison for a murder he supposedly did not commit. At least, that's what the documentary claims. In this short film piece, I will study information that was left entirely unmentioned within Making a Murderer and how it could possibly point to Avery's genuine guilt. Making a Murderer claims that Avery was victimized due to being a person of low IQ and poor family background, that he was really an average guy that would never hurt a fly. Briefly mentioned in the first episode, passed off as a minor joke, is the fact that Avery burned a cat to death. This is the first instance of Avery displaying violent tendencies. Somehow the show tries to make out that this isn't such a big deal. Later, while in prison, multiple inmates attested to the fact that Avery spoke of building a rape dungeon at his home and how he would like to hurt women. This is entirely unmentioned in the documentary, which appears to do its level best to portray Avery in an entirely positive light. Avery had a history of odd advances towards Hallback, such as answering the door wearing nothing but a towel. Hallback had become increasingly wary of Avery, refusing to continue to meet him as part of her job. Avery then used a fake name and personal details to trick Hallback into meeting him. All of these are signs of Avery's obvious obsession with Hallback. Avery called Teresa's phone 3 times the afternoon that she was murdered, and 2 of those times he utilized the star 67 feature to conceal his identity. The prosecuting attorney claims Stephen called once at 2:24 p.m. and again at 2:35 p.m., using star 67 both times. He also called again at 4:35 p.m. This time he did not use star 67, and the state claims that because he already knew she was dead, he didn't need to conceal his identity, and was attempting to establish an alibi by calling at this point. Stephen's DNA was also found under the hood of Teresa's Jeep, and it did not come from blood. The prosecuting lawyer claims non-blood DNA belonging to Stephen was found under the hood of the car and the battery that had been disconnected. This, he claims, proves that it could not have been planted by police. The DNA was comprised of something else, such as skin cells or sweat, which cannot be faked. Teresa's phone, camera, and PDA were found 20 feet from Avery's door, burned in his barrel. Why is it that the documentary does not tell the viewers the contents of her purse that was found just north of the front door of Avery's trailer? All of these things, even if they do not prove that Avery was guilty, do prove that the documentary had a severe bias towards proving Avery innocent and did not provide an objective account of the events that took place. This is just another example of how selective information and media manipulation can easily paint a false picture of certain events.